Was it wise for the Mexican government to go after the Cartel? Will it really be the end of corruption?
As violence continues to erupt in Mexico, how does this affect the business world?
Leviathan, a lesson and a mystery from the Bible.
Tension is increasing in Iran. Are we already in World War III?
Lobster risotto.
Grilled Australian lamb.
Beef Wellington.
My sisters and I went to Harrah's Resort in the middle of nowhere just to try Hell's Kitchen. Welcome to another episode of Guac and
Chippies!
Oh, Hell's Kitchen, ladies.
For those of you who may not know, Hell's Kitchen was inspired by a cooking competition hosted by Gordon Ramsay, where aspiring chefs are split into red and blue teams to face intense challenges. Over each season, contestants are progressively eliminated, with the winner earning head chef position at a top restaurant. Have you actually seen the show?
Yeah.
Part of it.
I've never got into it because I always saw clips of him, Gordon Ramsay, and he just looked really rude
Funny.
and mean.
Mm-hmm.
He's brought it down a couple notches. His most recent seasons, he's not as vulgar, but there's some where he's very rude to contestants. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But it's just like the environment that he was brought up in the culinary world. It's a very harsh, fast-paced industry, and so there's a lot of attitude that comes with it. That's why they say if you can't take the heat, stay out of the kitchen. It has more to do with like the stove and the burning hot, the heat that comes from like temperatures. It's also like emotional and psychological.
Yeah, he's been under fire a lot for being mean and having to apologize publicly.
I think there's different variations of people. Everyone has a dark side, a funny side, a boring side, and certain environments tend to bring that up. So I actually don't mind that. I think it made it more entertaining for me to watch.
Yeah, a lot of people say it's set up. I believe there might be like contracts in places, and the producers and directors, whoever is in charge of making the show, also has an input. And they probably got away with a lot of things in the first few seasons since it was like a new show. But as it's progressed, I feel like it has evolved.
They also do a different version of the same show, which is with kids. Same competition, and that shows how nice he is to kids, right? And so he's a family oriented. When he's in a family environment, like, he tends to be a lot nicer.
He is a multi-millionaire. He is a winner of Michelin stars, and that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so for Lilo's birthday, she was like, oh, I want to go try Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to make the trip all the way to Las Vegas, so we decided to go to Funner County or Funner Rincon, California, somewhere in the south.
Fun fact, Funner, California was renamed in 2016, so it wasn't known as Funner, California by the tribe that runs the area. So the resort is actually owned by the Rincon band of Lisueño Mission Indians. And I say Harrah's Resort, but is it?
I think it's Harrah's.
Harrah's Resort in Southern California, owned by Rincon band, is a major source of government revenue to their tribe. So it creates jobs and economy for them. Caesars Entertainment Inc. operates it, but it was renovated because before it didn't have the pools. You know how we went inside the pools and there was like this waterfall and the water flowing. That was new. They also added more rooms and more floors. It has about 400 and something rooms. And the Starbucks was in there, and then the chef's kitchen was in addition to the resort.
I wanted to go try Hell's Kitchen because I was so used to trying our food that you guys taught me the value of our food, and in terms of how it tastes, the quality, and all of that. And since I knew over social media that Gordon Ramsay was like one of the best chefs, I just saw him on social media, and I wanted to see and taste his restaurant. And I think I found him because he collaborated also with Tina, something like that. She's known for making pasta. And that's the pasta I tried making on, I think it was Thanksgiving, and you talk shit that it was ass. The one that was so cheesy. And he said that was, I don't know what he said.
I don't remember, to be honest.
Yeah, she made very cheesy pasta, and she was super excited about it. Family
I
came
shut her down.
over, and you shut her
Oh,
down, and then they
the
were
mac
like, "No,
and
it's
cheese?
good, John. It's good."
It was mac and cheese. No, it was not good at all.
I don't think it was
You
bad,
didn't
but
even
it
have
wasn't like.
any.
What do you
It was
mean?
not. It can't be. I've tried worse mac and cheese and pastas out and
No.
about. Yes,
It's
I
just
have.
when you put a ton of different cheeses, like it's just salty. Like it had a weird taste. Like the cheeses didn't blend well.
Well, according to her, that was a recipe inspired by Gordon Ramsay and Teeny, the creator.
No, Teeny, but not Gordon Ramsay. He tried it. He liked it.
I didn't really research and looked into any of this. I let them plan, and that was something she wanted to do. So, for me, this was like going into like an experience that I didn't really know much about, like being surprised.
Yeah, Jocelyn just like said, I'm not
not
gonna book anything. You do it all.
Yeah, the entire trip revolved around Hell's Kitchen, and I myself, two variables, Hell's Kitchen, and the place had to have a pool. And as soon as I saw that those two things were available, I just booked the hotels and didn't even mind looking into it. So at first I had no idea that it was an actual like casino. That was like the main center focus of it.
Mhm.
And so once I arrived there, I was like, oh my Lord, this is in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing here. There's just this giant casino.
And it was inside the hotel. Like you didn't, when walking in, it didn't even look like a hotel. Like it was just filled with smoke,
Yeah.
like cigars. I was like, is this the right hotel? And I walked in.
I wish they had more like shopping
Yeah.
centers or something like diverse for people who don't like to gamble.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that was like the missing thing. Like if they had like a mall,
Mm-hmm.
that would have been perfect. Because it's like one night at the casino isn't bad,
Mhm.
but an entire weekend, it's
Yeah.
kind of like,
Or like Dave and Buster's, if they added one.
For kids, or
Mhm.
maybe have like an entertainment side, because I know they do host concerts and they have like a conference room that they recently added. But that weekend in particular that we were there, they didn't have anything lined up. Yeah, I don't like casinos. I learned that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was good to like walk through them and kind of like, I guess you can say, experience it, but it's not my thing.
That was
I don't
alright.
find joy in it. I just get sad.
yeah.
I watch like all the people there in the machines, and it just looks like
It doesn't even
They're
seem like
so
they're
less.
having fun.
I know,
Yeah,
Like,
they're
they're
like
just-
NPCs.
Yeah.
They're addicted to
And
it.
the smoke just doesn't help at all.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And you know what's weird? It's like we would go to sleep and it was full with people, and then we'll come back down and it was full with people like
Yeah,
7
like,
a.m., 8
It felt
a.m.
like they wouldn't
Full with
move.
people like 24/7.
yeah,
So,
no, that is
is-
a too cold business.
Yeah, is that where everybody's retirement check going?
But on the bright side, the food was actually very good. We enjoyed it a lot.
That's all you're gonna say? You drove 2 hours to say it was good?
We made
Oh,
reservations for
My
like
God.
5:45 p.m. on Saturday,
Okay.
and we arrived. And it was cool. We were seated almost immediately, and the service was spectacular. Like the waiter was attentive. I would say though that the food was taking forever to get out.
Mhm.
Like as soon as we ordered, things took a while to come out, and I was just like a little annoyed about that. But was I being impatient, or did it take too long?
No, it took some time.
And I feel like there wasn't that many people.
Mm-hmm.
Like the restaurant was like full and stuff, but it just didn't feel like there was a ridiculous amount of people for
Maybe
it
the
to be that
waiter
backed up.
forgot to put the order too, because there was a moment where Lilo had ordered a 3-course meal with wine pairing,
Mhm.
and he didn't include the wine pairing until
Right
I
away.
mentioned it.
Mhm.
And if I wouldn't have like seen the menu and read it, I wouldn't have known that each course that she was having was paired with a wine.
Mhm.
So if I mean, you didn't know that, right?
Hmm.
And so the first one that she ate, which I thought was pretty cool. So if you like to taste wine and mix it with like your meals, I think it's a good experience. I really wanted to do the 3-course meal, but I decided to try something different that captured my eye and attention. It was the grilled Australian lamb, and oh my, was that so juicy and flavorful. At first I wanted to order it like very well done, but the waiter was like, no, you should go for medium. And sometimes it's not that I don't want to do medium, I do, but I'm always worried about how it's handled, and I guess I should have just trusted the process, but I did. Ended up listening to the waiter, and I had a medium well, not medium well, medium. And oh my gosh, it was so juicy. It was the right amount of flavor, like easy to bite into. I enjoyed my lamb a lot, and
She
I
wanted
also
to buzz the bones.
yeah, I wanted to lick the bones, but I didn't think it was classy, so I didn't really do that. I also had a chocolate sin cake, and it was like chocolate gelato with caramel mousse. If you love chocolate, I recommend that, but if you don't, it was too chocolate. And so
I actually
I-
didn't like her dessert.
I liked it because I
I
like
liked
chocolate gelato.
It was
Um,
too
I tasted
overbearing.
And then I got a little sticky tofu pudding because Ismail has said that we were celebrating Lilo's and my belated birthday, and so they brought out a little sticky tofu pudding with a little candle, and that was really good. It had like flavor. I felt like I tasted cinnamon, but Lilo said caramel, so
Maybe
might
I
be wrong.
tasted caramel because of the wine.
that too. But
Okay, and I'm gonna skip all the names from the menu and I'm gonna just say what I saw the name. So I had 3 wines. The first wine was with scallops. I didn't know what scallops were, but when I tasted it, it tasted like fish and very salty. And then there was this one little powerful little thing that was yellow on your plate. I don't know if you saw, but when I only ate that part, it was so amargo. Like it was so nasty. It made me like, ooh,
like sour.
like
Did you try it?
I don't remember.
what's amargo for
Sour.
you guys?
Sour.
Yeah.
Sour.
That's what you said.
That's what it is. Sour for the appetizer, the scallops. Had
Yeah.
it? Oh, interesting.
I tried one scallop. I didn't really like it. I don't think I'm
It
a
was-
scallop person. I felt it was salty.
I think it was like on the plate, not on top of the circle, the scallop.
Mhm.
And then the first wine that I had, it was very like bubbly, like
Sparkling.
sparkly wine. It was alright. You could tell in the videos that you guys took of me, I didn't like it. And then the second meal, I had the beef Wagyu. I had the
Wellington.
Wait, before you go
the
to
beef
that, the
Wellington.
wine she had was the Chardonnay Napa Valley 2019.
I had the beef Wellington, and that one to me just when I saw it on the plate, it just looked like a bread inside of a steak, like it's a steak, and then on the outside bread, and it looked really like red on the middle, and then on the side of that steak, it just had potatoes smashed over the plate, and something else, another thing smashed as well. It was like it looked like barbecue to me, but I don't think it was barbecue. Did you know what it was? And you mix it with the steak, right? And then you just put it in your mouth.
Yeah, the sauce that goes with it paired well with both the potatoes and the Wellington. You know, I had the same meal as Lilo, but with the exception of I didn't do the wine pairing.
Mhm.
The scallops weren't. I don't think they were executed well. Yeah, I probably wouldn't get the scallops again. I actually wanted to do the lobster risotto instead, but I went with their 3-course meal because it was actually a cheaper option. But I did order the lobster risotto for all of us to try and enjoy, and I loved the lobster risotto. I actually really enjoyed it.
I liked it.
Yeah, and when the beef Wellington was just a perfectly balanced meal. Yeah, it tasted so good. The meat was so tender and just like melts in your mouth. Properly seasoned, the textures, like everything was just well. I enjoyed the beef Wellington tremendously. And something that I really like about fine dining is the small portions. Like I always feel like you can enjoy a variety of different things because it's a 3-course meal. Any other restaurant that I go to, after appetizers and as I'm finishing my actual meal, my mains, I'm already getting stuffed. Like over the edge stuff that I just don't have room for dessert.
Now imagine you paired it with wine. I was really stuffed.
No, wine is
And
not. It's not supposed to be filling. Like
To
it's
me,
just
I
the
got
problem
full.
is, you don't like wine,
Well, if she's drinking liquid and then she's
and also
having the water,
it's a
I
little
think
bit.
she gets full. That's what she means.
Yeah.
But I forgot to mention, I also got a potato puree on the side, and oh my gosh, that's so good. Lilo got mac and cheese on the side.
Yes,
I forgot to mention
I got mac
That
and
is true. I
cheese.
forget.
It was very cheesy and salty.
You didn't like it, or you did?
I did like it, but it was a bit salty. You taste it.
And her beef Wellington was paired with a Cabernet Sauvignon, Clos du Val, Napa Valley 2016. That was actually, I tried a sip of that one, and I liked that wine. It wasn't too bitter. It was tones of sweetness and great.
I liked it.
It was unfortunate I wasn't drinking that day, or else I would have definitely gotten the wine pairing.
I wanted to do it, but then I thought it would be too much.
Yeah.
I thought I would like the wine that was for the dessert. I thought I would, but I kind of didn't.
Yeah, I didn't know you weren't gonna like it because the overly sweet, sugary stuff, it just doesn't sit well.
The waiter said it was a liqueur wine, so it's Paradiso dessert wine, Robert Renzoni Winery. Personally, I tried a sip of it. I did not like
It was strong, and then it was caramelized and then strong.
It reminded me of is it Kalulu or Kalu?
Kahlua, yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, those mixed, those it kind of tastes like those liquors that are meant to mix with other hard alcohols. And honestly, those give you a bad hangover if you drink too much of it because of the sugar and the alcohol content. I think wine pairing is like an experience, but if you're an avid wine drinker and you know what goes with what, you should just order your own as opposed to going with the 3 different portions. But yeah, the dessert, sticky top pudding.
That was heaven.
The dessert, I will say they were big portions for dessert.
Yeah.
If you order except the one that was given as a gift.
Guys.
But the big portions, I think that those were enough to either share.
Dude, guys.
It's
I
the
look
Phil
away.
Lights.
I look away from my plate, and it's already half gone, my dessert. And guess who was eating it? Mom.
They were just trying to take a
Mom is
picture
funny.
or something.
Yeah,
Mom
we're
is
supposed
hilarious.
to dress up, and she shows up with Crocs. I was like,
Because you said her shoes don't fit anymore. I was like, Mom, that's not classy. She's like,
and then towards the end, she brought her shoes in the purse, and she tried paying with them. She put the shoe out, and then the waiter just starts laughing.
yeah. The waiter was also spoke Spanish, so I think it made the experience better for our family because we ordered in Spanish and stuff. Oh, I was not disappointed with people dressing up because it says business casual on the website and that they won't allow other people in if you don't have business casual. I mean, I guess it worked out for my mom, but I noticed that I told my brother we were going to be the ones that are dressed. I don't know if you noticed. A lot of people were just wearing.
Business casual is not something so elevated.
No, but you still this is business. I would say this is business casual because of the pants and top. That is
like a normal, jeans comes off as business
I
casual.
don't think.
Yeah, jeans.
I
and
saw
a
people
button
wearing
up.
hoodies.
I don't think that's business casual. Well, the ambience was very theme related. I heard they had cocktails that were named after the show or inspired, but since I don't watch it, I don't really know. And the lighting was red dimmed. You had on the ceiling the what is it called, the torch or rake? I guess you could say a rake, the devil's rake.
Yeah.
Hanging, multiple of them hanging. Then you had
Poseidon's trident.
what is it?
Oh.
Then there's a wine cellar, and then there's pictures of Gordon Ramsay everywhere.
I thought it was cool that the
and his
chefs,
awards.
because in every other restaurant you don't see the chefs working fast.
Mm-hmm.
There you saw all the chefs scattered and doing their stuff, doing the orders fast.
Yeah, the same way that it shows up in the show, there's the red side and then the blue side. But for normal service, you can see the entire team operating. It was very chaotic, very fast paced. Yeah, no, I think it was a cool experience. Definitely something that people should, try out. And more so if you actually watch the show because you appreciate it more.
Yeah.
But yeah, to me, like the fine dining experience has always been something that I enjoy tremendously because it's like the small portions of each meal, and each course you try it different textures, different flavors, and like you're not so you don't concentrate on one. So for example, you go to a Mexican restaurant, you order a menu, big ass plate, and then that's all you have, right? But it would be nice to be able to compose, a structured meal that blends nicely together. Even though the scallops weren't good, in my mind, I'm thinking about the lobster risotto with the beef Wellington and the sticky top pudding. It was a perfect way of ending the meal because even though it was voluminous, it was very light. It wasn't like, I feel sluggish, I need to go sleep for 10 hours. I really enjoyed the experience for sure. Would you guys go back to Harrah's Resort?
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah. But I want to try the one in Las Vegas, not the Hell's Kitchen, but his burger one. The burger one.
I don't think I wouldn't go back unless they like opened up something
Not
to
there.
adding
You could go
to
to
the
Vegas.
resort. I wouldn't go back.
It just had two very strong points. So it had Hell's Kitchen, and then Justin's gonna mention the second restaurant.
Yeah, the other restaurant that we enjoyed and I felt like it was more affordable was KJ Chinese restaurant. I've never necessarily experienced good Chinese quality food, and we went there blindly.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really know exactly what to order, and
I know. Hello.
I didn't.
I know the
And
freak.
we're
How
going
am I
to
going?
after swimming, we were going to go to the Mexican restaurant. But Lila was like, "No, I don't want the Mexican food. I know I'm not gonna like it." Yeah, when I saw the menu, like the items that I saw, I was like birria, tacos, and then I'm just like, I already know that I'm not gonna enjoy this.
Mhm.
Or who knows? Maybe
No.
they would have surprised me. But
Yeah.
in general, Mexican restaurants tend to disappoint me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm not really up for that. So let's go to the Chinese spot
And each
instead.
meal was a lot, no?
I don't know. In general, everything's gonna be expensive there.
Well, I was looking at the menu and I knew I wanted something like sweet and then noodly. I was not thinking about soup because I was sick in the trip. It didn't pass through my mind. And Michael's choice was good, the soup that he chose.
what soup did you choose?
It was crab and white asparagus soup, hot soup. And the reason why I got it was because I felt like I had the entire weekend of a terrible diet. So I just wanted something like light, something, nutritious. And I feel like, the seafood plus some veggies and then the hot soup was like a perfect way to end the weekend. And I was just planning on picking a little bit of what you guys got because it's like family style restaurant. So the big plates come out and you share them. And yeah, I opted in for that soup. And like it just hit the spot. It was perfect.
Yeah. Like right away, I got my smell back after eating.
And
it.
it's not too like heavily seasoned. And they brought out like some pepper, and then I sprinkled some pepper, and it tasted even better with the pepper. And I was like, I really enjoyed it with the pepper. I don't know about you guys. It added more like depth to the meal.
Mm-hmm.
But the soup was like perfect.
I wasn't 100% big fan of the soup.
Really?
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like my favorite thing.
I enjoyed it a lot.
And then when I was looking at the menu, I got the honey shrimp.
Honey walnut shrimp.
Honey walnut
that was
shrimp.
something I also looked at and wanted. So it was really delicious.
And what was the one you ordered?
My mom, we ordered her chow mein beef chow mein. But what did I get?
The
orange peel, the orange fried peeled chicken. That one's good too. I feel like they overcooked it a little bit, but it wasn't bad.
Ironically, we ended up choosing two of the items that they're known for, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't even know unwillingly. But the walnut shrimp was spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
I was amazed by how good it tasted.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lilo and I both got a Thai tea.
Oh yeah, when I saw Thai tea, I was like, should I? I'm sick.
And what I appreciated about this Thai tea in particular, it wasn't so sweet.
Oh,
Usually
yeah.
they make it super sweet, but this was like the perfect amount of sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
So KJ Chinese restaurant, they have other ones in different resorts. So if you probably go to Vegas, you probably see it. Yeah. So I would definitely dine there again. the service was fast,
Yeah.
but it was very like, I don't think it was like rude, but they were abrupt, like very direct with everything. Because when
I
she
feel
put,
like that
did you
comes
notice?
with, it's a casino.
Yeah, she put the soup, and then she brought the pepper, and she just went.
Yeah.
And the guy didn't even like socialize or make any conversation,
Yeah.
like, or wasn't really helpful. Like I had to ask him because he's like, "Are you guys ready to order?" And I was like, "Well, can you explain to me how this comes?" Because I didn't really know. And then he kind of looked at me like I was
Yeah.
like,
It was a
"You
bit-
haven't ate
yeah,
Chinese food, girl."
You put himself in his shoes, and
Yeah.
like you analyze the type of people that go there,
Mm.
like those soulless looking people that are just pressing buttons on the slot. They go there. What type of energy do they have? Chances are they go there when they've already lost everything. So
That's true.
it's really hard to find like upbeat people, and like that's my opinion, but who knows?
Yeah, and Ismail mentioned earlier that we went to the pool and we chilled in the jacuzzi and stuff with mom.
Yeah.
It was fun. But I have one complaint about it, and I'm still not over it. So the first time I went to the pool section, and I tried getting in because you have to check in or either pay or either pay.
Get over it.
And so I'm trying to check in, and the girl was like, the person checking in, she was like, "Can I see your ID?" So I gave her my ID, and she's like, "I'm sorry, this is not a real ID. You can't come in. Like, you need your real ID to go to the pool and use the bar." And I was like, "What do you mean I need my real ID? I have never needed a real ID to go chill at a resort."
She
So
never
I was
said you can't go in.
Yeah, she said you can't go into the bar or pool usually. And then I cut her off because I was like, "What do you mean? That's never happened or been the case." And so then my mom kind of overheard, and she was like, "Oh, we're just gonna walk around. We're not gonna go in." And then she was like, "Oh, you're not gonna go in?" And I'm like, "No, we just want to see the space." And so she's like, "Okay, you guys can go." So like, what? It makes no sense. That whole interaction was very weird. And there's a family behind us too who wanted to go and walk around, and they were just like, "We want to walk too." So nobody got carded. But I understand them wanting to card you to see if you were able to go to the bar and the wristband or whatnot. But a real ID? I don't know.
That was
That
ridiculous.
was weird to me.
And
And then
it
the
was more
second
ridiculous because
time,
you actually had one.
yeah, I actually had one. But I think it threw me off too because I think it's one of the new ones. I haven't really seen it. But it's one of the new ones, and when it first came, it looked different from the original one that I had. But I verified that day on the website because it really threw me off, and it had like the bear and everything. So that's weird. But the second time that we actually went to go into the pool, the girl was super nice, and she didn't she didn't say anything about real ID or anything. And she just checked us, and we went in, and that's all.
Yeah. They also like kind of forced the card because since you're gonna be in the pool area, there's an entire section. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the entire section over there is like reserved for 21 and above.
Yeah.
And that happened to be the section that where we were. The jacuzzi where we're in.
Yeah.
It's 21 and over.
I don't mind them enforcing that, but like a real ID.
It literally says on my ID 21 in 2026.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird situation. I think it was just like an isolated incident. She
And
was
like,
not. She didn't like you.
And like, can
I
you
know
not
her.
see my face that I look like that damn ID?
Yeah.
Like, I literally look like that ID.
Yeah. But the jacuzzi was fun, and then we got to play a little water volleyball. Would you say?
Yeah.
Water volleyball.
Yeah, I tried swimming. Yeah, we tried swimming on the waterfall, but it was too small. Too shallow.
I think if it was deeper, it would have been better.
Yeah.
But
I couldn't enjoy it. I couldn't swim because I'm too big.
Perfect for children if you
Yeah.
have children. I think that's cute. So I think the pool area and everything, like if you have a family and your husband or somebody likes to gamble, I'm not recommending gambling, but you can go there, and while your family is gambling, you could just chill at the pool with your children. Oh, I will say the room was nice. It had a nice bathroom, and I just wish it had brighter lights.
Yeah.
Another negative is I was trying to look for a conference room to film this podcast, and nobody helped me. So.
But the view, I enjoyed the view. It's one of the views that I feel like
yeah.
I like the most.
There was a beautiful mountain view.
Yeah, it was perfect.
I wish I could move it.
Yeah, put it in front of us right now. Going back, I don't know if I will. It's It's too far in the middle of nowhere, but it had two very strong points. The Asian restaurant was very delicious for the price. Phenomenal. Hell's Kitchen is a staple. I would like to try other items for sure. But making the trip all the way over there, and it's not even like you can fly into it. You have to drive there. I don't think I will.
I would want to try the prime New York steak,
Yeah.
14 ounces.
Oh yeah, mom had filet mignon.
Yeah, the filet mignon. That
she-
shit was burned.
Yeah, she asked for it well done. I don't know why they burnt it, to be honest.
My mom was
To
like,
me,
"Yeah."
well
like
done
it.
is not that burnt. One time I saw a video of Gordon Ramsay. I think he was traveling to Colombia and he was like learning about the cuisine. And then they were teaching him how to make cocaine.
Oh,
And then he actually tries it. So, transitioning to unfortunate events of drug dealing and cartel violence. On Sunday, February 22nd, 2026, Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, known as El Mencho, was seriously wounded during a Mexican military operation in Tapala, Jalisco, and died of his gunshots wounds while being transported to Mexico City. As of my knowledge, he is currently in Mexico City, his body. Being obviously they did DNA testing to make sure that it's him. Although the conspiracies are already starting and the rumors are saying that he is still alive. Do you believe that? Comment down below with your thoughts. Operation is said that it was aided by the US intelligence and it triggered widespread retaliatory violence by the Cartel Jalisco Nueva Generación, including road blockades, vehicles on fire, and clashes that killed at least 25 National Guard members. A little bit about Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, also known as El Mencho. He was the most wanted person in Mexico and the United States. There was a fee for his head, as you want to call it, or a compensation for getting him back. I've heard anywhere from 15 million to 50 million.
Damn.
It said MXN, which I thought was Mexican pesos, but I've also heard it could have been dollars. So he was born in Aguililla, Michoacan, which is known as a very violent and cartel-run area. From a young age, he started working and growing avocados. He immigrated to the United States, where he was involved in crime and selling drugs. He eventually was deported to Mexico, where he worked as a police officer, but quit to become part of Milenio Cartel or Cartel de los Valencias. Eventually, in that cartel, he married Rosalinda, who was one of the family members of Los Valencias. And he grew within the cartel organization, becoming leader of Cartel Jalisco Nueva Generación. They had 3 children and divorced in 2018. So a lot of people are saying the reason he was able to ascend to being the leader of Cartel Jalisco Nueva Generación is because he married Rosalinda. So Rosalinda, a little about her, she also grew up in that same area in Michoacan. And her family dedicated their craft into growing avocados, but eventually turned into growing marijuana and opium poppy. Her family formed Milenio Cartel or Cartel de los Valencias, and they began trafficking narcotics from Mexico to the United States. They relocated to Jalisco in early 2000s because there was battles between different cartels like Los Zetas trying to control, etc. And then also leaders being overthrown or captured or killed by, the military or the U.S. government. And so they relocated to Jalisco and they became Cartel Nueva Generación. Some of them split and joined the Sinaloa Cartel. And that's where he made most of the moves. Cartel Jalisco Nueva Generación is heavily involved in the production and trafficking of methamphetamine and fentanyl and controls several seaports of importing chemicals according to U.S. authorities. His 3 children have also been involved in the operations. His son, Ruben Oseguera Gonzalez, known as El Menchito, known as El Menchito, is serving his life sentence in a U.S. federal prison. His youngest daughter, Laisha Michelle Oseguera Gonzalez, is considered a person of interest by authorities, but maintains a lower profile and nobody really knows where she's at. Compared to her sister, a 39-year-old Jessica Joanna Oseguera Gonzalez, also known as La Negra, is considered a probable successor. So Jessica is actually also an American citizen. So the 3 children were born in California. and Jessica lived in San Francisco for some time, and then she went back to Mexico, studying in the University of Guadalajara. One time she went to hear her brother's trial, and that's when she was captured in prison for like 20 months for working with the cartel. And the brother, so then she went back, she got released, and then she went back to Mexico, from my understanding. The mother is known as La Jefa. So right now, I heard that they don't really know where she's at.
Damn, imagine our mom being
No.
a jefa.
Absolutely not that kind of hip.
Dude, but if you think about it, do you think they did it out of necessity?
Necessity?
Because
I don't know.
Mexico
That's
is a
what I
very
was
poor
going to talk
country.
about moving forward. Like, I've been a little upset about it. But before I get to that, remind me, the wife, she has been arrested for suspicion of money laundering for the cartel, and she's considered a businesswoman. So she has she operates or helps with over 50 to 60 businesses, and one of the ones that she actually got targeted for was because she failed to provide information on a car wash that she ran, like the tax information, or like where the money was going and things like that. So she ended up leaving jail and paid bail, but she's supposed to go back for like trial or something like that. Most of the family members, because the mother she had, or the wife of Mencho, had like 18 siblings. She's the oldest to them, and all of them were somehow involved in the family's operation, and a lot of them are either in prison or have been killed. And so now Mencho has been captured, and that's why there's been a lot of violence, specifically in states like Jalisco, in terms of lighting up cars, closing roads. The latest, the president says that the roads are no longer closed, but who knows? And lawmakers in Mexico did authorize the entry of 19 members of U.S. Naval SEAL Team 2 for the purpose of training Mexican special forces, and they're expected to be in Campeche, Mexico, from February 15 all the way to April 16. And so that's what's been a little summary of what's been going on in Mexico, and some airports in Guadalajara did close, and Puerto Vallarta as well.
The whole situation sucks because, I mean, the people that, aside from those who are actually getting killed, it affects the community tremendously.
Even more than what it is now.
I will say that 25, as of now, it's known at least 25 National Guard members were killed during the operation, and just in general on Sunday. The cartel says they're not targeting their citizens, so like the Mexican citizens, and they're stating that you shouldn't be out in the streets past a certain time. I don't know how true that is, because we do have family there, but in that zone, they tend to not be as communicative, and they're more isolated. But our family in the city did say that some of them, they go to work. One of my cousins works remote and in office, and she didn't have to go in the office. And then my uncle who does go in person, he says that there was not violence, it was tranquil. But we're gonna have to see. I did see a video of a TikToker saying that he was in the airport in Guadalajara, and he's like, I hate Mexico being portrayed like this, like everybody's so nice, the people are so welcoming. And he's like, the violence, I saw my TikTok For You page and on social media, and it's 10 times more intense than what it is here. I don't know, because when you are there, I feel like a lot of the locals, especially since they know how these operations run, they're gonna be hiding. I don't think they're gonna be out and about on the streets. Some of them might open their stores and do regular operations, but I feel like after a certain time, everything's gonna be quiet. But yeah, thoughts on, do you think this is for the better of Mexican government, or do you think that corruption is still gonna continue?
I think it's still gonna continue, because if there's already a theory that the president of Mexico is working with the cartels, like, what makes you think it's not gonna continue even if they capture this dude? Like, he still has family out there that are gonna continue with or without him.
I mean, it's something that's really hard to shut off, but it is possible. They just need to be more strict about it. I had a question, but I feel like you kind of already answered it. Like, why now? But you mentioned that before there was an active bounty on him.
Yeah, they're still so.
So, yeah, so then that makes sense. So they were actually looking for him. Like, it's been a
Yeah,
thing.
he's been for some time. They've been looking for him, and I feel like it has to do with power and control because if you think about it, the drug and the DEA or DEA is the one who's in charge of regulating that. If Mexico really did, like you have said, who is one of the number one clients of this drugs? USA.
Right.
So it's all about power and control. I think there's a larger reason that, it's not being stated here. And whoever controls that doesn't want him to have all the profits, or maybe they didn't want to negotiate.
I feel like they're just gonna, if he was actually like a big cartel boss in Mexico, like a huge player, eliminating him kind of paves the way for a new leader that is actually in control.
Yeah.
And who actually has backing of the government and stuff. Right? So that's just
Terrifying.
like eliminating the competition so that the higher ups can get more profit.
Yeah, and something that I missed from the story that I should have mentioned, Reuters, the article reported that because he's divorced in 2018, one of his lovers, the woman that he liked or was associated with, was the one who kind of gave the tip of where they were at. So he was betrayed. And there were like jokes about how Chapo, same thing happened. He was betrayed by a woman.
So I
So I wonder-
no bitch.
I wonder if she got compensated for that and how that's working. I wouldn't.
2 million,
Yeah,
but it's
And-
gonna cost her her life. So
probably.
if it's true,
But-
then
Yeah, I don't know if it's true. And then also, they were saying that he was killed or captured the same date as Chapo was, February 22nd.
oh, that's weird.
I know.
That
So-
makes you wonder.
I know. But yeah, like Ismail has said in previous episodes that USA is the main customer, or it's also involved heavily. And so Mexico, all they have to do is, temporarily hold the drugs and not give them to them and watch chaos start. Right?
All three of us have been in Mexico. You've seen how it looks over there. Like it doesn't look like United States or any other city that we go visit to. I mean, do you think the cartels become cartels because of the necessity of money and a
I
living?
think some do. Some do for sure, but I guess some are intrigued by the lifestyle that it brings.
Did you see the story of Chapo? I mean, is that his name?
I don't know if it's
Real?
true or real, but the Netflix series I watched a long time ago.
Did it show that he needed the money, or did it that he liked it?
That I know of, no. You know the ones that originally supposedly started it all? Miguel, Felix, Angel Gallardo, and Rafa Caro Quintero. Supposedly they did come from poverty, and that's something that their families use as a means to provide. And that's how it starts, right? But then eventually it obviously turns into something evil because it just brings in way too much money. And with money comes temptation, and that kind of forces killings and wrongdoing and all kinds of things, right? But I think when power gets passed on to the next person, that transfer of power goes from like evil to evil. But the roots of it, I could imagine that it comes from, something pure, but it turns into something evil.
Allegedly, one of the most popular cartels that was also like separated, or I guess you could say destroyed or disarmed or stopped, was La Familia Michoacana. And that cartel allegedly started in order to like end
Violence in Mexico.
the violence in Mexico and in Michoacan. So their allegedly intentions were to protect the Michoacan population, specifically poor people.
Mm.
And they claimed that they didn't kill children; they only killed people who deserved it. I think they also were known for like giving to the community, and that's how they were able to continue growing.
Mm.
But the leader from that organization, he had an unstable upbringing with his parents, So his dad was an alcoholic, and his mom tried to correct him a lot of times, like his behavior. But to fast forward the introduction, or like fast forward his story, he also made his own Bible. And so he was out here preaching whatever, giving out his Bible or doing. He always carried it. So when he passed, or when he got killed, people started considering him as a saint. I thought that was interesting. But essentially, in his intentions, he created that cartel to help protect the poor people. En Michoacán, and not have other cartels like the Zetas and other organizations take over and advantage.
So that cartel
But
is similar to this one?
they're all bad. Organized crime.
Like they're not teamed up. They're not teamed up.
No, there's different cartels, and each one rules different areas. But it made me a little disappointed because, like, the story, I didn't know this story that they, started off working in the fields of avocado, like picking avocado plantations. And it makes me sad because it kind of, like, I reflected, and it's like this theory that I've been thinking of, like, is it really possible for you to grow as a business or as people, as a family, without becoming corrupt, without falling into the wrong ways? Because we even see it in musicians. A popular story is with Selena Quintanilla. She was murdered by her close friend, assistant, and allegedly she was doing money laundering too, or something wrong. And she claims that she didn't murder her now, moving forward. But, like, I don't know, it made me sad because, you're working here in the fields. Was that not enough?
It's a $1 billion industry, the avocado industry. But a big problem is that they're heavily targeted by cartels. So potentially their family could have become victims of it.
So they rather just take control into their hands.
Become part of it so that they can be the bullies as opposed to the people that are getting bullied. Because it's one thing that you have a product that does a tremendous amount of money, and it's another to have that, and on top of that, a route where you can transport other type of merchandise. You make money off of two things, both the avocados and the drugs, and it gives you power and influence that allows your family to flourish. And so it's a difficult situation for sure, but I mean,
no, it is scary because, like you said, if the cartels wanted to steal from them or making them pay like something for the avocados, and they weren't making income, then how do you run from it when it's all over there and they can't come over here because the United States is also being strict with green cards?
Well, a lot of them from those organizations or organized crime, they ended up immigrating to the United States, and they were here as illegals, and they worked and they did the business here too. And the reason they either went back was because they got deported, they got caught, or they were in jail. So a lot of them did come to the United States to do stuff.
Well, I guess it just depends on the type of lifestyle you want.
Or maybe we don't know that, like you said, there's cartels here and over there, and if they see you run away, then they're gonna kill you either way. So what do you prefer? Stay, keep doing the bad things, or run away and get died?
I don't know, because Michoacán is it's a state full of resources, and there's a lot of poverty. There's a lot of abandoned homes that have been affected by this violence, and also police corruption.
All this violence actually affects the business world tremendously.
How?
Because Mexico's, one of their biggest trading partners is the United States. And so with all these blockages and flight delays, it stops or puts a pause on merchandise being shipped. So this is actually very interesting. I didn't know this, but approximately 50% of air freight by weight is moved by passenger aircraft. Right, so
50% of what?
Freight.
Freight?
Yeah. So that's kind of like bulk orders of stuff, like all kinds of goods and services that are being shipped for business purposes and wholesale. So 50% of what Mexico sends goes through passenger air flight. So because American Airlines canceled flights Sunday to and from Guadalajara, Mazatlan, and Puerto Vallarta. Southwest Airlines also canceled flights, along with Delta, which also diverted flights. United Airlines and Air Canada also canceled flights to the region. So this causes disturbance in shipping merchandise and the blockages of roads with the trucking industry. Right, trucks now the companies are gonna, or they put halt on certain routes, especially those from like the west side of Mexico, because of the violence. Like imagine you're just shipping your goods and it gets attacked and just destroyed, causes disturbances, right? And then it also means that Mexican workers are not gonna get paid, right? So it turns into like a whole trickling effect that is gonna be felt here in the States the longer it goes. So maybe right now it's just like a small hiccup, but if it continues to persist, it's going to cause a lot of damage.
A deal has not been reached between Iran and the United States. There are rumors that Trump wants to attack Iran. And the New York Times article said that Trump told reporters on Friday that he was considering a limited military strike to pressure Iran into a deal. He said, quote, "I guess I can say I am considering that," end quote. He said at the start of the meeting with the governors at the White House. The New York Times has reported that Mr. Trump is weighing various options to strike Iran in the coming days out of negotiations over a nuclear program. Supreme Court ruled Friday that President Trump exceeded his authority when he imposed sweeping tariffs on imports from nearly every U.S. trading partner as a major setback for his administration's second-term agenda. So as of February 20, 2026, dozens of U.S. planes are parked at Jordan base. Satellite imagery shows and flight data shows that information. So Jordan has become a key hub for U.S. military planning for possible strikes in Iran.
Yeah.
But more than 60 attacked aircrafts are parked at the base, and at least 68 cargo planes have landed in the base since Sunday.
Like, how do you have that much courage to continue to go against the U.S., right? Knowing that they could just make you disappear in an instant.
I don't know, because allegedly,
like, where does that come from?
The conspiracy theory is that Israel has told USA that they need to attack Iran, and if they don't, Israel is gonna start using nuclear war. I mean, it's just gonna start bombing everywhere, or like without care. That's a theory that I heard recently, and I was like, whoa. So apparently previous presidents have also been told to attack Iran, but they have said no, and they have been willing to find other ways around it. But this time they're not really giving Trump the option, according to this theory. They are also saying that China is like the supplier of a lot of things that USA would need for war, and they're not going to back the United States. They're going to side with Iran and Russia as well.
That's where the balls are coming from. Like, they know that it can stir up international conflict where it could force like a World War III. Well, either way, like for us normal people, that's not a good thing. War causes market collapses. I'm not looking forward to that. Like, it's been a brutal past year for crypto, and some news like this would take it even further down.
I know. I would be worried.
What if war actually comes to the U.S.? It's very hard for that to happen. I mean, our military is our defense is pretty good, but with rising technologies, like, who knows? Maybe it's around that time where, historically speaking, there's a shift in the power dynamics of the world, and just like the rhetoric that's going around with the collapsing of the U.S. dollar, like, it's kind of like scary times. You know what I mean? Because there's going to be a new world leader. Who will it be?
Yeah, and it's like weird that it's all happening at the same time as they're targeting cartel violence in Latin America. So do you think it's all connected?
It's tied to Iran?
Because everything is happening all at the same time. Like, why? So first of all, Maduro, and is overthrown and captured, and then they've been having ships in the ocean targeting various cartel people, and then now Mexico, and then Iran has been, in negotiation talks. So like everything is happening at the same time. So I think,
How would you piece it together?
well, a lot of people are saying, theorists again, there's conspiracies, that it's because they don't want the Epstein files to be completely released.
So that's all distraction for that?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I don't
There
honestly
also
I don't
is
think it's as
restrictions.
deep as people make it seem.
Yeah,
I
like
think
what
it's
else are they
deeper.
hiding besides eating humans?
Like let's say
A
for
lot
example,
more. And then they're saying that
Like-
the alien information is going to come out.
yeah, the creator of Bitcoin. Like I feel like I don't know, like what are people gonna do? You
I
what
know.
mean?
They don't do
Exactly.
it.
That's what people are upset right now,
I
because
don't think they would.
there
think they'll do
hasn't
anything.
been any action given. Like, there's names that have been released and nobody has been held accountable. So that's why people are frustrated.
Well, what do people
But yeah,
expect?
what
They're
can
all
you do?
rich.
It's really hard because it's all connected.
Yeah, I mean somehow, but what's like it's hard for me to.
No, because it goes back to this
Yeah.
idea, like, Walmart,
Mhm.
one of the biggest grocery stores, corporations.
Mhm.
Is that
Well,
explanation necessary?
no, yes.
Do you know McDonald's?
Did you ever see the missing people
Big Mac.
signs
Huh?
across Walmart? They sometimes hang it like by the
I
front
never noticed that.
of missing people, missing children, and that's a site where a lot of people go and try to get
In
and recruit
Walmart.
and kidnap. Yeah. Have you heard those TikTok stories recently?
No.
Where women have gone to the store and then they're being approached by men, or they're being followed, and sometimes they're handed stuff
Mhm.
like a business card, or like they're interacted, and then if you touch it, it's drugged with fentanyl or something, and it causes you to black out.
Damn,
So there's
Just
been
by a
multiple
touch?
stories. Yeah.
that's scary.
And then also that they say, like, when they put things in your car, or like money. But there was this incident that somebody put a bunch of $100 bills around a store,
Mhm.
and an employee found them, and then they went to give it to like the manager or whatnot. They were fake, and then they started feeling sick,
Mhm.
and so they called the authorities, and then they realized that they were drugged. So these things are happening. Just because it doesn't happen, to everybody, or it doesn't mean it's non-existent.
Wait, we just went way off the topic.
That's
We were
why
talking
I
about
don't know
Iran.
Because that connects to the trafficking and Epstein
Oh.
files. They trafficked women, trafficked children, boys too.
Mhm.
I guess she's
But
just
what
saying
are we
that
gonna
the
do
whole
about it, though?
trafficking.
It's a
Well-
much bigger.
Well, if they do come out, for example, let's say Trump is heavily involved, he could get impeached. He'll go through the court system and he'll lose his position and then go to
But like,
jail.
why would it matter if another person will be in for president and do the same thing all over again?
I don't
Like
know.
you
In
guys
theory,
don't know if
in theory, they wouldn't.
the
But I'm saying like the Epstein files will put a lot of people in prison, supposedly. That's it.
So in February 2026, counterfeit $100 bills dusted with white powder were discovered in Albertson, in a grocery store in Irvine, California. 2 employees became ill after handling the money and were taken to the hospital. The substance was identified as ephedrine, a stimulant that is a precursor chemical used in the production of methamphetamine, the drug that we've been talking about.
The drug
Damn.
and Mencho made.
Yeah. Health impact. 2 employees who came into contact with the bill were reported feeling dizzy. Yeah, there's an investigation in Orange County, and the public has been warned about it. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's all connected. Like, this drug is the drug that Mencho made, and it's being used, sold here. Whoever put it in the fake $100 bills had a goal. So imagine you're at the store and you're like, "Hey, Jocelyn, look at that $100 bill." And you pick it up,
I wouldn't pick it up.
and then, or something, and then somebody's watching you, and then they follow you and they take you. And so then now you're in this situation, and you probably won't be found. And that's what I mean. That
Imagine that's why Mencho was killed, because he wants to stop producing and trafficking such a harsh drug.
maybe like it's all connected. In China, remember I told you earlier in this podcast, I said that China is also involved. There's this Chinese Mexican. He owns businesses in Mexico. He has dual citizenship. He hasn't been found guilty, but allegedly he's involved in these operations. He brings fake drugs too from China to Mexico.
Dude, it's not gonna stop.
And so, like, I don't know. This is all
I
scary.
also saw TikTok today that a woman ordered Uber Eats. The guy was weird, left the food in front of her door or whatever. Took a weird picture. Later, she looked at the picture. It was in front of her house, her whole house, not the food. And then later on, an hour passes. He comes back, but leaves a jacket and dessert, cupcake, something. And she got scared. And she put on. She was weirded out, because if I would have seen it, I would have just let it be there. I would not pick it up till the next day or something to know that I'm safe. But she right away put on a glove and threw it away at night. I don't know if he was still around there or something, but like, that's dangerous. You should never do that. Like, if not right away, like wait till the next day when it's daylight or something.
Yeah, every time I see money like that, I never grab it.
I picked it up before.
I remember one time when I was in high school, there was like a giant pile, not a giant, but there was just dog shit around, the places where everyone hangs out and people walk past. And it was next to the tree where we hung out. And around lunchtime, someone put $1 on top of it, but kind of like smeared it.
With shit.
Yeah. But the top side of the dollar covered the shit. So that way when someone would pick it up, they would have dog shit all over their hand. And then they did that, and then someone out there, everyone was just like watching. It was like a group of African Americans, and they were just waiting for someone to pick it up. And someone did pick it up, and everyone started laughing.
Speaking of theories about the cartel, now let's make it a bit mysterious and different. Have you guys ever heard of Leviathan in the Bible?
No.
Sounds familiar.
Well, every time I'm on TikTok and I like these theories, I always hear that word Leviathan, and I'm always like curious. And then one time I just looked on comments and captions, and it said that the Bible talked about that God created a dragon and it lives in the sea or in the ocean. But today I researched, and basically those theories are wrong. They're just theories those people make up, but it does talk about, God does mention something about a Leviathan. Have you ever seen something so big or powerful that it made you realize how small you are?
Yeah.
Like what?
God's power.
Oh, Michael, you have? How are you going to explain to somebody that hasn't seen God's power?
You can't, you have to feel it.
Yeah. No, it's something you experience. You realize how little you matter, and how everything can be taken from you in an instant.
Would you describe it as like a light? Like a big, bright light, or no?
It can be, but I don't really know the source. Right, but is that what you're trying to say? Is it?
Well, in some, like, whenever I say light, it was because of the story when God talked to Moses with the fire of a tree inside of a cave. I think that's how I saw it, light, like you feel it, and it's too bright that you can't look at it. Because God does say that you can't even look at me because of how bright I am, or like how it will hurt your eyes. Okay, you?
When I went to the Grand Canyon, and I saw into the open territory in the canyons, it was just...
Yeah, I see humans as ants.
Hypnotizing. It was beautiful, but at the same time, mysterious.
In the Bible, there's a creature like that, and it's called Leviathan. I know this isn't a movie monster, it's part of a lesson. So, this story comes from the book of Job. Job was a good man who lost almost everything, his family, his health, and his money. He didn't understand why this was happening and he started asking God a lot of questions. Instead of giving Job a simple answer, God did something surprising. He described Leviathan, a creature so powerful that no human could ever control it. Only God could control it. And this is what God says. God says, "Can you catch the Leviathan with a hook or tie him up with a rope?" From his mouth comes flames and sparks of fire fly out. When Leviathan rises up, even the strongest people are afraid. On earth, there is nothing like him. He isn't afraid of anything. God isn't trying to scare Jacob, he is teaching him something important. God is saying if there are things in this world that are way bigger than you and you can't control them, then maybe you don't have to have every answer. Leviathan shows that God is in control even when life feels confusing or unfair. So Leviathan isn't really about a monster, it's about learning to trust God even when we don't understand what's happening because God sees the whole picture and we know.
Wow, that was beautiful, Lilo.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Guac and
Chippies.
Make sure you comment down below, subscribe to the channel, let us know your thoughts, and we'll see you guys next time.